Hey there, wanted to quickly show a method that I'm using that helps me scour wool better. The wool is, it comes in a planar type shape. It's like stretched across the skin of the animal. And so it's kind of two-dimensional in that way. And so I keep it two-dimensional by putting it between these two vinyl coated metal screens. And that kind of preserves its shape. You can see that it's got the white section and the black section because this is a Jacob's sheep, so it's a variegated sheep, but it sort of keeps it all in structure, which is fun. It makes scouring nicer when I feel like I'm still connected to the animal in some way, and then it's pretty easy to pull the locks through here. This maintains lock structure pretty nicely, and it is pretty easy to set up too, because when I lay the fleece out, it wants to stay together laterally, and so I just lay down a grid and then I separate the fleece from the neighboring parts of the fleece basically at the edge of the grid, jam a little bit in there, and then I slide another piece on top of it or below it, and then I clip them together. I'm using these kind of, they're called Herbie clamps. They're really not useful. I've had them in my toolbox for decades and without finding a good way to use them until now. I wouldn't recommend investing in them. Just use a wire twist tie, tie some rope. If you're a fiber artist, I think you probably know how to work with knots and whatnot. But I'm using these, and you can see there's a little bit of spring. I've got some wool stuck in between there, so like batting, it is resisting compression a little bit. And so one question you may have is, how does it look when it all comes out? Now, I've already scoured this part, and one bonus is that as you're scouring it, it's pretty easy to get vegetable matter out of it this way, just kind of top, popping it brings out vegetable matter. Also, it's a really handy shape and size and weight. Yeah, you can stack them up. I kind of have a shelving unit that I file them in on. So that's been pretty awesome. And it gets really clean. I like being able to see it in the bath as I am scouring it. I can see how much the bubbles are still sticking to the fur after, not the fur, the fleece, after I submerge it, and that's nice. I was doing a thing where I was doing mesh bags, but I felt like the fleece was moving around too much in there, and I was worried about getting too much fooling or felting. And so I like this better. And I also had like nesting bins, totes, if you will, totes that had a lot of holes on the sides and the bottom. And so I put a couple locks in each tote and then stacked the totes. They would nest on top of each other, and that was nice. But I couldn't see my fleece, and that was sad. I was just basically dunking totes, and that got to feel really boring. So here we are. I've opened it up, and we've kind of kept the structure of the fleece. Sometimes I don't put like a square of fleece in there from the original animal. Sometimes I've just got miscellaneous chunks that have wound up on the floor where I'm working this stuff, and then I'll just sort of make them, into bedfellows. But this is actually the way it was on the fleece, and this is what it looks like after the scouring. I'm gonna, I should have, bopped it around a little bit more to get vegetable matter out, but I'm doing this video inside because there's better noise control. But yeah, you can see it gets pretty nicely clean. I can grab it and agitate it without worrying about too much fooling happening on the fleece, which I really like. It's fun to like put my hand in and be like, shake it up, shake the bubbles off, get the soap throughout. So I like it like that. And then even in this state, now that I've taken the screen off, I find it really easy to store. I just put three of these on top of each other and put it in a pillowcase, and it's good to go. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and have fun with all your excellent hobbying. Be well.